Hi guys, welcome back once again for another video. So owning a superbike has been a dream for a lot of people who love motorcycles, and I am very grateful that I am able to own one. But usually people don't understand what it is like to own a superbike until they own one. So today I am going to explain a few things which will be useful for new riders, especially for people who are about to purchase a superbike in the near future. So in this video practically I am going to explain the difference between a superbike and a normal motorcycle. So it will be useful for new riders who are going to switch over from a normal motorcycle to a superbike. So the first thing that I am going to talk about is the weight and size of the superbikes. Seeing from a distance, the superbikes seem to be of normal weight and dimensions, but they are completely different from the motorcycles we ride day to day. For example, a normal 150 to 200cc motorcycle weighs anywhere between 140 to 150 kilograms. The Royal Enfield motorcycle, which we consider pretty heavy in India, itself weighs less than 190 kilograms. But these litter class motorcycles weigh 200 plus kilograms. This ZX 10R here is 206 kilograms, much heavier than a Royal Enfield motorcycle. And the dimensions I don't have to explain, I think. And if you look at the dimensions of these superbikes, they have a huge wheelbase, because of which their turning radius is huge when compared to normal motorcycles. So the next thing which we have to look out for is the handling of the superbikes. This is where most of the people misjudge the superbike. The handling of a litter class motorcycle is completely different from that of a normal motorcycle. Either you cruise it on the highway, or you are riding slow through the city traffic, or you are racing it on a racetrack. The handling is completely different. To put it in detail, it is like riding a car on two wheels. For example, even if you are taking a curve like this, the superbikes take extra space. The turning radius is high, and they need some more space when compared to your normal motorcycle, and it is easy to overshoot if you are on a high speed on these curves. Moreover, taking a U-turn on this motorcycle is a pretty difficult thing. It may seem normal, but it is not so easy. The motorcycles are very heavy, and at low speeds it is very difficult to balance them, and also they have a higher turning radius than these normal motorcycles. So taking a U-turn is pretty risky, and there is a very good chance that you can put down your motorcycle easily. The next thing is the most important thing, that is the power of these superbikes. The power generated by this motorcycle is more than most of the D-segment sedans running on our roads. Combine that with the light weight of this motorcycle, these are just like mini rockets on road. So speaking about the low weight and high power of these motorcycles, the power to weight ratio of these motorcycles are pretty high. Let me explain what is power to weight ratio. The power to weight ratio of any vehicle can be calculated by dividing the power of this motorcycle by the weight of the vehicle. So this ZX 10R here generates 210 horsepower and has a weight of 206 kilograms. So the power to weight ratio of this motorcycle is more than 1000 bhp per ton. To put it into perspective, modern Formula 1 cars generate around 1400 bhp per ton. I think now you can imagine how powerful these motorcycles are. So with such an insane power to weight ratio, these motorcycles can practically reach 100 km per hour from 0 kmph in less than 3 seconds, and twist the throttle some more, you will be soon past the 200 km per hour mark. So speaking of power of the motorcycle, it will be apt to mention about the speed of these superbikes. So these motorcycles can practically reach speeds in excess of 300 kilometers per hour. These motorcycles are very comfortable to cruise on the highways in speeds around 180 to 200 kilometers per hour. 200 kilometers per hour may seem very normal on paper, but in reality it is not. This is where most of the new riders misjudge the speed of the motorcycle. It is not easy to ride the motorcycle at 200 km per hour on your first try. I can promise you that this motorcycle will kill you if you try to do that. So there are a lot of things to remember once you are past 200 or 250 kilometers per hour. The first thing is the wind blast. It will be as if like the wind is trying to throw you away from your motorcycle, and you will be holding for your dear life on the handlebars of this motorcycle. The next major thing which you have to remember, this is the very important thing, your brain is not used to seeing speeds above 200 kilometers per hour regularly. So your brain is not used to such speeds, and it will take some time for your brain to adapt to those speeds. So initially, while riding these motorcycles in excess of 200 kilometers per hour, you will be having difficulty at guessing the other objects on the road, the speed at which your motorcycle is moving, how quick your motorcycle will reach a junction ahead, and when you have to hit the brake to safely slow down. Analyzing these things, you will be having some difficulty initially. So at the beginning, it is better to ride the motorcycle at a normal speed, and you can increase the speed step by step. It is always safe to have a step by step approach in this regard. One small thing which I have to mention is about the heat of these superbikes. The superbikes generate a lot of heat and are extremely difficult to ride at slow speeds within the cities. You cannot ride a superbike without wearing your shoes and socks. It will just burn your legs. Kawasaki's, when compared to other superbikes, run pretty cool, but Ducatis are known to roast you alive. And finally, the list is not complete without speaking about the maintenance of a superbike, especially in a country like India, where superbikes are very rare. It is not easy to know the maintenance of a superbike unless you own one. So I have to say, maintaining a superbike is like having a 20 lakh car. It is like maintaining a 20 lakh car. The insurance cost is somewhat lower than that of a car, but the service and other things are just like a car. So for insurance, I am paying around 20 to 25,000 rupees per year, and maintenance, the more you run your motorcycle, the more maintenance you will have. So the rear tire alone costs around 15 to 20,000 rupees, and the front tire will be somewhat lesser. And the chain sprocket, the things which you have to replace regularly if you are running your motorcycle a lot, are tires and chain sprockets, and of course the brake pads of the motorcycle. So the chain sprocket will also cost around nearly 20,000 rupees. The brake pads are somewhere around 5,000 per piece. So brake pads, I have to say, the front wheel has double discs, so you have to change it together, and the rear has one. So these are the major maintenance costs I am doing for my motorcycle. And of course the mileage which I get is around 16 to 17 kilometers per liter. So I think the petrol cost you will be able to calculate with that. And finally, before finishing, let us discuss one more thing. So whether riding a superbike will make you a skilled rider. So if you think the answer is yes, I have to say it is not, unless and otherwise you are riding on track under the supervision of a trainer. So people may think riding a superbike is pretty difficult and riding one may increase the riding skill, but in my experience I have to say maybe you get used to riding a superbike, but your actual riding skills won't increase by riding a superbike, because you can't simply hone your riding skills without knowing how a motorcycle behaves at its maximum limit. So a normal motorcycle, you can push it to its limit and see how it behaves, and you may learn how to handle a motorcycle at its full potential. But with a superbike, you cannot simply push the motorcycle to its true potential. You will be always in a control board trying to prevent the motorcycle from unleashing its true potential. So regarding that skill thing, I think a superbike will not help you in improving your riding skills. What I have told now may be debatable, so if you think otherwise, you can share your opinion in the comment section. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. See you all once again in another video. See you all.